All right, guys, welcome to the show. It is the off season, literally the slowest time of the season. So if you're here, congratulations and amazing dedication for your passion for fantasy football. I'm here. We go year round. So make sure you guys do subscribe. Going to keep pumping out that content for you. Also, along with breaking NFL news, anything you need to know will be covered on this channel. We're going beyond fantasy football. Always have, always will continue to do that for you. In this episode, we're talking about 5 boom players that have massive upside going into this 2023 fantasy football season. I've talked about these guys recently in some other videos, but I want to reassure you that I feel pretty confident with these players. And I think the value for a couple of these guys will be pretty decent for you guys to pick up this year. And again, you're going to get that massive upside. So boom type of potential, massive upside here on these guys. Want to talk about it here with you guys. Again, keeping that content going for you guys here in the off season. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys do subscribe. Join the Patreon group right now where you get exclusive videos from myself, optimal DFS plays. You're going to get waiver wires. Everything for the season is going to be now in the Front Lines group. So become a member, guys. There's different tiers in the Patreon group. This is the only place to get direct access to me. Join below and pre-order the 16-round draft solution below as well. All right, let's dive into this and drop a comment below. Let me know who you think is a boom player this year. Love to get your feedback. Very important to me as I'm doing my analysis and preparing my 16-round draft solution. Love to hear your thoughts as well. Okay, guys? Boom player, drop it below and leave that thumbs up. First player here, guys. Let's talk about it. It's an easy one for me, and I know this one's obvious, but I have to talk about it, is Ja'Marr Chase. Now, Ja'Marr Chase finished 12th in PPR last year and only played 12 games. I want to reassure you guys that a full season will bring this guy to be the #1 receiver. Now, there is obviously other great talent. Cooper Kupp coming back, hopefully with injury, off injury. Hopefully he comes back healthy. Then you got Justin Jefferson. You've got other great receivers that are in the mix this year, and Devontae Adams, of course, as well. But this year, I'm going to be waiting on wide receiver. And I talk about that in other videos, sleeper videos. You're going to make sure you guys are subscribed here and in my 16-round draft solution that I will be waiting on wide receiver. But again, I really love Ja'Marr Chase. I loved him this year. Unfortunately, injury hindered him from becoming a top guy. Again, still finished 12th in PPR, 12 games, 1,046 yards receiving, 9 touchdowns, 134 targets, which put him #1 on his team. Higgins had 109 targets, Tyler Boyd around 82. So even though he missed time, it's clear evident that talent-wise, rapport-wise with Burrow, Ja'Marr Chase is the guy. So it doesn't even, there's no question there. That's something that you really want to reassure yourself when you're drafting a wide receiver early, which is what you're going to be doing if you want Ja'Marr Chase this year, is that he's going to be the guy and the volume is going to be there. And you're going to get that with Ja'Marr Chase this year. So Ja'Marr Chase, tons of boom upside, predicated he plays the entire season, which I believe he does. Love the upside, love the talent. 134 targets, 12 games. I'm picturing a floor of 150 targets and at least 12 touchdowns because, again, he is a touchdown monster here. 9 touchdowns in the little bit of time he played. Or not a little bit of time, but less time that he played. Still managed to get 9 touchdowns receiving. Love the upside. Second player here, I've talked about him before, finished 21st in PPR amongst wide receivers, is Garrett Wilson. Now, Garrett Wilson still managed to get 147 targets with a bunch of bums throwing them the ball. There is talk about possibly Aaron Rodgers ending up there, Derek Carr. They're floating around. Now, I'm not a big fan of Derek Carr. Like I said, you know that. But understand that he does make receivers relatively fantasy relevant. We saw that with Adams last year. So it is going to be an upgrade. It's going to be that consistent passer that's going to get the ball to Garrett Wilson if Derek Carr is there. So as of right now, the Chiefs have Garrett Wilson relatively high. I see him hovering around 10 to 14 in regards to ADP amongst wide receivers. I mean, in the rankings amongst wide receivers. So when I look at Garrett Wilson, I still want to steal him. If I can steal him in the 3rd round, I'm getting a solid wide receiver 1 that's got ultra amazing talent, very, for good value is what I'm trying to say. And he's still going to produce on a high level. 1,103 yards in his rookie year, 4 touchdowns. I like to see that go up, but I think that is just simply because, again, he didn't get the wide receivers that he wanted. The quarterbacks that he wanted, didn't get the quarterback consistent play. Breece Hall was injured. Hopefully he comes back healthy. So they need to get this offense in sync with the right quarterback under center. But Garrett Wilson is going to be the clear-cut wide receiver one option on that team. 147 targets, 83 receptions, just under 11 or just over 1,100 yards. Pretty remarkable for a rookie year with a bunch of bum quarterbacks throwing the ball. So that's why I'm saying he's got that opportunity to boom. And it's going to be decent value. Okay, guys? So you can still get a running back or two and maybe get yourself a Garrett Wilson as your wide receiver one and then stack a bunch of depth later on. Okay, right? Okay, guys? Number 3 here, boom player, Chris Olave, 119 targets, 72 receptions, 1,042 yards receiving. Again, 4 touchdowns. I'd like to see more touchdowns out of these young guys, but they are getting integrated a little bit more. Obviously, quarterback play was a situation here. Hopefully, they got a good quarterback. Again, rumors of Derek Carr at the time it's recording. If he's there, whether he goes to the Jets, Aaron Rodgers, we don't know. But either Carr or Rodgers on either the Jets or the Saints is going to really boost either Olave or Garrett here. Remember, Chris Olave was an 11th overall pick in last year's draft, round 1 pick. So this is huge. The talent is there. You know, the opportunity is there. This guy, you know, could have easily got the offensive rookie player, you know, rookie of the year. Garrett Wilson got that. We know that. Forgot to mention that in the first point. But either one of these guys should be solid value for next year. And again, big boost. Watch who's going to be throwing the ball. That's going to really predicate and dictate how this is going to play out. But love the boom potential. All right. Number 4 here. Got a quarterback here for you. Then I got a running back. Again, make sure you guys are subscribed and drop a comment below. Let me know who you love, who's going to boom. But Trevor Lawrence, again, I've talked about him in other videos. Finished 7th in fantasy points, 296 points last year, 25-8 touchdown interception ratio. We got a healthy Calvin Ridley coming back off suspension, who was, you know, betting or whatever he was doing. Besides the fact, Ridley's going to be back. He's going to have some weapons with Kirk, Ridley. I'm actually literally excited about this offense. We know ATN catches the ball in the backfield, so that's going to get more passing yards for Trevor Lawrence. He's going to have some weapons. He's going to be fully comfortable in that offense. We're going to see what they're going to do in the draft. Maybe some more O-line improvements to boost it up. Make sure there's better protection for him. Maybe give him some more weapons. It's going to be interesting to see what the Jaguars do in the draft. But we're talking about finally the Jaguars finding that franchise quarterback at an ultra-elite talent who gets it done. 8th in touchdowns, 25. Only 8 interceptions. 9th in passing yards, guys. Just over 4,100 yards. Phenomenal second year for Trevor Lawrence. Love the upside. And if I can get him, again, it depends. He's still going to probably be a top 10 quarterback. But if I can get it for amazing value, this is a steal. Trevor Lawrence, I'm all over it. All right. Number 5 here, another boom player. It's going to be a running back. I've talked about it. I'm going to keep preaching him because to me, it's blatantly obvious that this guy, you know, the sky's the limit. We're talking about a guy, Kenneth Walker, who was a 2nd round pick out of Michigan. Okay. Started in the 6th week. Again, people said they liked Rashad Penny. He was getting the start. I said, bench Rashad Penny. Start your starter, which is Kenneth Walker. Really got the start. Really got going volume-wise in the 6th week and still managed to get 1,000 yards on the ground, 1,050 yards, 4.6 yards per carry, which is pretty awesome in 15 games. But again, didn't really get going until week 6 and 9 touchdowns on the ground. He can still get it done in the receiving game. We got Geno Smith, who's going to get signed for a potentially big deal. And he's going to now be in his comfort zone because last year he's like, am I the guy? Am I the real deal? Now he's got that confidence, that swagger going into 2023. So we got Geno Smith potentially under center. The receivers are decent. Maybe they get another receiver in the draft. I love this offense, but either way, Kenneth Walker is going to be the guy. You're going to look at a ton of volume. I'm looking at a 250 floor volume attempt-wise for this guy. We're looking at 250 attempts. I'm looking at 12 touchdowns on the ground, 1,500 yards rushing. And I'm going to probably say around 40 receptions. I'm going to go on the lower end on the receptions and about 2 to 4 receiving touchdowns. But this is a guy that can pound the ball. You know, they're going to do a ground and pound attack. They're going to mix it up. He's going to be a focal point of that offense, predicated that he stays healthy. But either way, Kenneth Walker, boom type of potential, right? Ja'Marr Chase, Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, who are going to be better value than Ja'Marr Chase, right? You get your Wilson, Olave. You got Trevor Lawrence, going to be decent value at quarterback because people are going to go for their Mahomes, their Allens, their Hurts, right? Their Burrows off the board. And then you get maybe sneak in and grab a Trevor Lawrence. It's going to be consistent and efficient for you all year. And then Kenneth Walker, if you can get it for decent value. But I imagine him coming off in the 1st, 2nd round. Either way, you need that workhorse, and he's going to be it. So 5 boom players there for you. Make sure you keep them on your radar as we start preparing for 2023 fantasy football. I'm excited. I know you guys are. Make sure you guys are plugged in. We go year round. Follow Insta at Fantasy Football Counselor as well. I'm going to go hard for you and pre-order 16 rounds, linked it below, and join the Patreon community. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the content and to keep it rolling for you guys. We'll talk soon. I'm out.